Buy low, sell high, that's my motto. I may just quit my job at the power plant and become a full-time stock market guy.
So welcome to the channel. In this video, we're talking about the Bitcoin halving of 2024. And in particular, when is the low likely going to come in before this halving cycle? And when will the high come in post the halving cycle? So looking forward over the next few months, trying to buy towards the bottom of the market. And then after the halving event, how many months do we have before we enter that kind of danger zone and we need to sell our bags? So the halving countdown is on screen here, 513 days away. This is predicted to be around May 22nd of 2024, according to CoinWars. So not too far away, especially when we look at the bottoms for the market and how they come in earlier than the halving events. So the next Bitcoin halving will see the issuance of BTC drop from 6.25 Bitcoins per block down to just 3.125 per block. So time for some economics 101. There are two main events that the Bitcoin halving causes. The first one is very much measurable. This is to do with the issuance being cut in half, 6.25 down to 3.125 Bitcoins per block. So first and foremost, this causes a change to the supply dynamic, a shock to the market that Economics 101 tells us less supply, i.e. the movement from supply level 1 to supply level 2, means less quantity of Bitcoin available, the movement from Q1 to Q2 that you can see, and a new equilibrium price will be found that is higher. This is represented by the price move P1 to P2. So that is the basic economics behind it. The second part is to do with the other market forces. We have a lot of traders and narratives that form around the Bitcoin halving.
It's going up forever, Laura. Forever. Right.
With this kind of speculation comes more attention. The media attention pushes social engagement. Individuals start to talk about the crypto market cycles once again, and the Bitcoin halving can spark a bull run.
Imagine Bitcoin going from $60,000 to $320,000.
We're already going to see price momentum move to the upside due to the supply issuance change. But this, added with that little bit of petroleum from all the speculation, that fuel to the fire, just means things get a little bit crazier. And this is how we get those bull runs. So on this chart, we can see three previous halving cycles. We had the halving number one in November of 2012. The second halving came in July of 2016. And then the third halving came in May of the year 2020. The golden mark here, this golden line here, is the next predicted Bitcoin halving event, May of 2024. But this could move due to the fact each Bitcoin block does not come in exactly at the same amount of time. So this could actually move a month or so either way. So there is leeway behind this. So to be honest with you, there are just far too many indicators out there these days. So let's just keep this very simple and concentrate on two things. So when did the previous bottom come in prior to these other halvings? So the first bottom here was in October of 2011. This was 13 months prior to the halving number one. So we have 13 months. Then halving number two, the bottom came in here on this wick. This was in the January of 2015, and this was 18 months out before halving number two. Then the third halving, May 2020. When was the bottom prior to this? It was the wick down here, December of 2018. That was 17 months prior to the halving. So if we take those three numbers, 13, 18, and 17, and calculate the mean, add them all up together, divide by 3, it gives us 16 months as a baseline. So from May of 2024, 16 months prior, takes us back to here, and that is January of 2023, just a couple of weeks away. Let's take this one step further and just place a block. So the longest time frame prior to a halving that we saw the bottom come in was 18 months. So that's 2 months back from January 2023. That puts us in November of this year, the month that has just passed. And funnily enough, this gives us the potential for the November low to be the bottom. It is currently the bottom of the cycle, where we tick down to around 15.5K at the end of November. So if we just mark out from month 18 to the kind of shortest distance away, which would be month 13, that puts us bottoming between November and April. So somewhere in that range there. This doesn't obviously mean price has to move down quite substantially from here, but this is kind of our bottoming range based on the three previous halving cycles. The idea of this is not to concentrate too much on price targets, but more the time range that we have to work with. So it stands to say we may have bottomed already, but we could bottom sometime in Q1 of 2023. So this gives us a good idea idea that it would be smart to be DCAing around these levels. I know a lot of people already are, and many people plan to DCA very hard into 2023. But if you're a new market participant and we get some nasty wicks down here in the start of Q1, a lot of people may want to sell.
Bottom sold.
But as history will show us, this is the worst time to be selling, and this is when you should be buying. So the bottom range could form around here, and then we would have still some time before the halving to continue to accumulate some BTC and other altcoins for the ride ahead. But the second most important question, when do we sell the top? When does the top typically come in? So if we look at the previous halving cycles here, from halving 1, November 2012, to the top, which was the red candle here, that was 13 months, so a 13-month bull market with the Pico top coming in December of 2013. Halving number 2 from here, July 2016, Pico top came in on this green candle here, 17 months later, December of 2017. And then a third cycle here, we have the halving, May 2020, to the top, November of 2021. That comes in at 18 months. Yet again, we're seeing a similar pattern, 13 months, 17 months, 18 months. Again, it gives us a mean of 16 months out. So 16 months after the halving is our potential top for the next cycle. This takes us out to September of 2025. Let's put a new vertical line on here, September 25 in green, and this could be our potential top area. We will again map out the previous historic references here, 13 months to 18 months after the halving cycle. So here we have our green box mapped out to sell the damn top. June of 2025 through to the end of November of 2025, depending on when the actual halving cycle comes in. We may need to adjust this here, but we have a kind of target range for when we want to be distributing our tokens to the newcomers of the market cycle, those who are coming in and FOMOing in and unfortunately are bound to buy high and sell low.
No! 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 No!
So on a rather simplistic basis here, we have our accumulation zone, the bottom area, and the potential for the top area coming in here. So this gives us a good time series from which to work with in terms of DCAing more heavily during this phase, continuing to DCA during the run up into the halving. And then as the halving and the supply shock takes hold during the bull market, we then look to sell our tokens to the new retail participants for this next market cycle. The fear and FOMO will return once again. And rather than spending too many hours looking at all these different indicators, this is just a simple way of looking at the markets and saying, look, this has happened previously. We're entering in towards the bottom range right about now. You want to be a buyer within this range and definitely not a seller. If you enjoyed this quick update, let me know down below in the comments section and I will catch you guys in the next video. Goodbye.